This is day one of rebuilding an agency from scratch. For some backstory, I started my marketing agency about a year ago, and I did not pick a niche. I also did not take outreach as seriously as I should have taken it, and I essentially got nowhere. I did some one-off projects. I made a little money, but it was something that was not sustainable at all. I was also still running my car detailing business at the time, and that was taking a lot of my time and mental energy. Fast forward to about 2 months ago, a guy came into the dealership I work at looking for a truck. He did not end up buying a truck that day, but he ended up telling me that he owns a roofing company, and I mentioned that I do marketing. I kind of immediately went into like sales mode, and I was like, he had just started his roofing company, and he's like, yeah, I have like no marketing. I don't really have a lot of jobs coming in, and I'm like, dude, I can help you with that. So we ended up agreeing to work on a performance basis. So he agreed to pay me $500 for every roof replacement job that I got for him. I started working with him, and I basically just dialed in on that niche. I was like, you know what, if I'm already working with one roofing company, at the time I didn't have any other clients that I was working with, so I was like, if I'm gonna work with him, I'm just gonna pick this as my niche. And it was so random. Like I wasn't planning on picking roofing as my niche. It's just he came into the dealership, and you know things happened. So I was like, you know what, I'll just stick with this and put my head down and just really like actually try this time, because I feel like I wasn't trying as much as I should have been, or as much as I could have been the first time. I think I was too preoccupied with car detailing and with that's about it. That's all I was doing. I was doing car detailing, and I was spending so much time and energy on that, and it's just like the money wasn't there. And it's like, it's one of those businesses that, for me at least, that it didn't matter how hard I worked. It just, the money was not there. So I was like, you know what, I'm done. And I was like, I'm gonna do away with detailing. I'm gonna put my all into this agency. And I have my dealership income. I don't need the detailing right now. I was like, you know what, I'll live off my dealership income, and I will not focus on making money with this agency. My only focus will be creating value for my clients. And it worked. Fast forward to today, since that first guy that I started working with, I've signed 3 more roofing clients. So I'm working with 4 roofing companies doing their marketing. I've built up some pretty credible case studies. 50,000 views in one day, 150,000 views in 28 days, $40,000 in 1 month revenue generated. 130,000 views in 1 week. These guys are getting good results, and we haven't started paid marketing yet. This is just with organic content. Everything that I just named was strictly organic content for these guys. So clearly, the system that I created works. So I'm just gonna market my results, market the system, market the fact that so far it's just been organic. I do want to get into paid ads for all my clients eventually, because I think that that'll help. But I think that we need to start. There needs to be a testing phase, right? And you don't want to be burning money during the testing phase. I guess a more simple way to put it would just be organics for testing, paid marketing is for doubling down on what worked in organic. So essentially, now that I have some case studies, I will be adding a monthly retainer fee on top of my performance incentive. I'm still keeping the performance incentive, because I do believe that, like, as a marketing partner, you should be incentivized to bring as many deals to the company as possible, as much money to the company as possible. It should be a given. Like, that's kind of like, that's your job, is to make as much money for the company as possible. So you should be incentivized to do that. You shouldn't just get a retainer for putting posts out. Because then, even though, like, even if I was only doing a retainer, I still think that I would have, like, the morals to still want to get good results for the clients. It's like, I still want to be incentivized. Like, I want my income to be tied to theirs. Because it's also a selling point, to be honest. It's like, my income's tied to yours. I have a retainer to keep the lights on and to pay my team. That is it. Everything else is, I need to be making you money to make the company money. Long story short, I have the foundation built now, and it's time to scale this thing to the moon. So I hope you enjoyed these clips from the past few days, and I will see you in the outro. My lowest mileage. We've got. Am I good?
Happening, you're like, how the hell did he do it? So we're gonna break that down. We're gonna break down the psychology behind positioning of I don't need your money because I have already created a vehicle that have made me a ton of money. If you think about a Hormozi, the perception that he creates is that he runs his private equity. Oh, I just looked at what he did and I did the same thing. And then it made me this amount. And so, as you can see, the thumbnails last year are very creative as well. Hormozi over here, 151K here. It's very, very low. And the reason why is because your ICP, the total addressable market of your ICP, is always going to be lower. It's always going to be less. But the dream follower, the people that resonate with you, is always going to be more. And so the question now becomes, how can we target the dream follower, right? And what you guys will find is that, and this has resulted in us being able to obviously do the 200.
All right, so client posts are all out for today. Been taking some notes and setting up an email software that I'm going to use for cold email. Next up is setting up this old phone of mine for cold text and cold calling. I just want to have a separate phone for business. All right, so that's about it for this week. I was just working in my clients' accounts and getting some stuff set up for cold outreach and putting some content out there. So I'm just going to increase the volume of outreach and content as time goes on. Try to sign as many clients as possible, and then eventually get an account manager to manage the clients' accounts so that I can focus on the sales and marketing aspect of things and just bringing in new agency clients. It's going to be a process. It's going to be hard, but we'll see where this thing goes. See you in the next one.